No, I mean, this is, I mean, while there is a lot of testing done today, I don't think there's enough, like, overall, like, like one of these companies that I've been following is this Inside Tracker in the
Sure.
US.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
your
So diagnostic blood test.
yeah, blood test, like proper blood work,
Yeah.
micronutrients
Yeah.
and your, your, gut, your, I mean, today, because most testing that is happening is very, not fitness focused, nutrition focused, so I think there's an opportunity there. I don't know how big the market is though, but I think if someone like that exists, then automatically the chances of that growing as an
Yeah,
industry.
it's more personalized to you, who you are,
Right.
basis on your physiology, your background. So, and you
Right.
get actionable insights, right? I mean, what
Correct.
you got to work on.
Yeah, I think generally the theme is, like personally, I think that, every human is different. So, he should be able to at least be able to figure easily what works, what is, right for him, what's not. And no, I mean, I've always believed that, I don't know why Indians don't give enough importance to yoga. I mean, while yoga is popular, but I think a lot more can be done. And I think, and we are like thought leaders of yoga, right? As in, we can't let some Americans claim yoga.
Yeah, I remember someone saying that's probably the only product which has come out from India, which is global. Like
Yeah,
Indian product.
Yeah,
which is
but
global.
Indians are not benefiting out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
everyone else is, so many, companies making hundreds of millions of dollars in yoga, and I think that wealth has to be created in India.
And there's
right?
no
That's-
Indian company which is doing that. Yeah, yeah.
So I think, I mean, there are people attempting, but
Yeah.
I think yoga is very tough to crack digitally. I think. I think this is, teaching yoga on a Zoom, etc. is very hard. So
Yeah.
so I
I've
think,
tried a bit. I've told you about it. It's very hard.
yeah, so
yeah.
so I think it's some physical kind of a thing there, and yeah, and I'm generally open. I think, as long as it's a health and actual real health and fitness, nutrition kind of a problem that we are addressing.
So I think you today when you look at cult is at the mass end.
Right.
You had in Bangalore you had something from Z, I forget the name, Zen or some
Zo?
gym.
Zo Fitness.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But I think at the top end of the spectrum, a one-stop shop for everyone who is willing to pay a certain amount of money for all their needs, and that is not only nutrition, strength and conditioning, flexibility, endurance, basic coaching.
It's a full
but
stack.
also-
It's a full stack
But
solution.
even merchandise, even yoga, even your massage, even your sauna, even your gym. So basically, you have a wardrobe there.
Interesting.
I will iron and keep your work clothes. I will launder it for you. You don't need to worry. Your exercise clothes also you just dump. I will wash them. I will give it back to you, and I will put your shoes. You have everything. It's like your runner's hangout. So you
Yeah.
come in the morning.
Yeah.
In whichever where everything is ready. You just go run around, come
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
and then you have your breakfast. You have your everything ready, and
Yeah.
there are people who will pay that premium.
Sure. It might not be for masses, but then there's a niche audience to it, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know if you know that I've seen documentaries. I've not been to Japan yet, but in Japan, there are these hubs where you can get in. You don't even have to bring your own shoes. They have shoes of different size. They have locker. They have breakfast. They'll have a group who will go out, run, come back, give the shoe back, get a shower done, go back.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's a very fascinating idea. I really hope someone goes out and builds something out there. I mean, a bespoke solution where end to end, if you're a runner, if you're a swimmer or a cyclist, you have everything taken care. You just have to get out and just get it done.
Absolutely.
Right. Anything else you think? Can you think of anything in the space of nutrition, food, anything which strikes your mind,
So I think-
which has been your need and no one has built yet?
Yeah, so I think the food and nutrition, one thing which I have seen is salt sticks.
Okay.
It's a very small thing, but I don't think either Unived or GU or
Okay.
one of these guys are not doing a good job of it. Some of these nutraceuticals are now coming in, but very small. And I think, of course, if you're able to have points where you can get fresh but nutritional food delivered.
Okay.
People tried it, but
Yeah,
I think because of preservatives or because of the transport and the kind of packaging, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work out. Yeah.
It doesn't work out. So
Yeah.
I think from a nutritional standpoint, I think
Yeah.
we are where we are because India intrinsically eats fresh food.
Yeah.
Unlike the West,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is a lot of packaged,
Yeah, right.
India still buys fresh vegetables and
Yeah.
fresh food. So
Yeah.
I don't think there is much there.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool.
I think one thing that I've realized is that there are many areas which are very important, but nobody gives a complete package, right? In the sense that nobody solves it completely for you. So for example, so nutrition, for example, right? So you might there are various proteins, but there are a lot of questions people have about
Yeah.
that, or so I think. But again, what happens is that so many people are in so many different parts of the whole journey that that you have to really see how big that market is.
Right.
Otherwise, what happens is you start to relate to what you need, and therefore realize that not many people. It has to be more like Safola, where it's not for the heart patients, but anybody who could be a heart patient, which means all of us, right? So one of the startups I invested in is Florio, where they are, and this was one of the realizations I had when I went to a doctor and he said, "Do you have multigrain atta?" And my wife and I said, "Yeah, we have multigrain." And then he said, "Which one?" And he says, "One of those brands in the market." He said, "Have you even read the content? Because most of them have 3-5% other grains and call it multigrain, right?"
Yeah, true.
Whereas multigrain should be, he says, at least what you can do is get 4 different. So Florio is trying to do that. Like you can create your own atta, or they have.
Oh, it's a personalized version. You go and tell what composition you want, and they'll create it. Wow.
Create it, or they have ready 10 different. And the beauty is that a large part of your food is atta.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
so therefore, if you take care of that, you are taking care of 40% of what goes
into your body.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where food or what you intake could be one large area. Apart from that is data technology, which again is area difficult to get in because there are large brands who have much higher data, etc. And then the third is clothing, footwear, where there's always an opportunity to create a more Indian or more Indianized brand. But those are broad areas where I've thought, but not come across too many different people coming forward and saying in health fitness we are.
Yeah, so I'm sure let this be a bait for people if they're watching and listening. If you're into supplements, if you can create something which is very personalized, and I totally agree with you that you go out in any of those commerce websites or even those health supplement websites and you say whey protein, there are probably nothing less than 20 options of whey protein, and you have no idea which one you should choose and why you should choose that, right? So there is absolutely a great need of being coming out with some personalization marker to say that, okay, if you are here, this is what you need, and these are things what you should probably don't need. And I often get confused, even after being in the space for so much of time. I'm often confused that I just need a simple whey protein, and when I search for a whey protein, I have 500 options and I have no idea which one I should choose for, right?
And if you think of it, the LTV is so high.
Absolutely.
Because once you start getting onto it.
Yeah, it's a recurring thing.
Yes, it's a recurring thing, and therefore, while people are all looking at how many customers they can get,
correct.
But here you could have a customer for life.
Absolutely, it's a subscription business.
Yes, it's a subscription business, and you could keep having those check-ins and figure out.
Right.
It's like medicine you take. So if I'm taking a pill for X ailment, then once the doctor subscribes you, then you are blindly taking the same thing. You are not applying your money.
That is why all the diabetes makers and all make so much of money because you're hooked to that, right?
Yes.
So for startups who are doing anything personalization in supplements, doing anything data-driven approach in making consumers healthy and fit, anything in nutrition, if you're building something, message Rishi. He might be interested to write a check. Awesome.
See, basically, our entire country's health infrastructure is very small compared to the scale of the country.
Yeah.
Right. And I think remote health is an area where it'll be difficult to make money, but I think we have to put in a lot of effort because I don't think we have the number of doctors to actually cater to our population. While we have a lot of doctors, they're nearly not enough to kind of handle the population. And I think using AI for diagnostics, using it for robotics for advanced treatment. My grandmother expired because she was being misdiagnosed for almost 5-6 years because the person who was treating her was based in a place called Jhajjar. Now, what quality of doctor are you going to achieve in Jhajjar? Now, Jhajjar is not a small place. It's like it's got a population set of almost 100,000 people reporting into it, right? So I think we need it. Without that, we won't be able to provide. I think the world does not have to be measured by we don't want to have the Western level of healthcare for our entire country. That would be too immense for our population. We need to have a different model. And I think what we are right now achieving with our tertiary care hospitals, where even if you sneeze, you go to a tertiary care hospital, is the opposite of that. In fact, we are going beyond the West, right? And I don't think that's an affordable system, where every time you fall sick and you go to a hospital, it costs you 50,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees. That's not an affordable mechanism. So I think this is a big problem to solve. And I hope some people can get cracking on it and bring some solutions out there.
Great.